In the northern part of California, there's a small town named Chico. It's a college town, and it has a large park, third largest in California. It's named Bidwell Park, and today we're going to investigate a place called the Indian Caves, so named by the locals. To get there, you follow a small access road that travels along the creek. It's nice and flat, and it's an easy walk. There's good views of the creek and good views of the cliffs. This year there was quite a bit of storm damage, so as you go farther upstream, the road gets a little rougher. If you keep your eyes out on the right, you'll find a trail eventually that is fairly narrow and pretty steep. You'll have to watch your footing if it's wet. It will go through some trees and brush, which in the spring and summer will have lots of ticks, and there's poison oak as well. It's a hard scramble up the hill, but it's all worth it once you get up to the top. To get there, you have to scramble up an even steeper trail, almost vertical in places. There's a little bit of climbing, and you have to be very careful of all of the poison oak. It's a narrow trail, and there are actually several ways to get up. One spot that I passed had a rope dangling off one of the pinnacles from the top. Once you've braved the cliffs and the poison oak, you're treated with a magnificent view of the North Valley, the coastal range all the way across. You can see the upper park going up into the foothills of the Sierra Nevada, and you can see a lot of Chico. Annie Bidwell, the wife of John Bidwell, who is claimed by some to be the founder of Chico, donated the park to the people of Chico. And as one of the provisions of that donation said that there should be no houses built that could overlook or be seen from the upper park. Unfortunately, several years ago, some brazen contractors began building some very high-end houses along the ridge, and before the city of Chico really knew what was happening, the houses were completed. And rather than force them to pull them out, the houses remained, which is really fortunate for the one or two families that own those houses, and unfortunate for all the rest of us that have to look at them. As you climb down from the top, you'll be going down cliffs, which are also known as buttes. These are made of basalt, which is the most common kind of lava rock. These buttes are also what Butte County is named after. When you get to the bottom, you'll find a trail that goes along the bottom of these cliffs. As you walk along, you'll begin to see more and more evidence of people being there. When I walked through, I found where a couple people had possibly been living, sleeping bags and some trash. A lot of the trash over the years has been picked up and removed by people who care for the park. Follow the trail, and all your efforts will be rewarded, and you'll come to the first of a couple of caves. You'll notice right away that there's a thick layer of carbon on the roof of the caves. I'm not sure if this is from Butte County residents in the last 100 years, or if this goes back a lot longer than that. If you're really curious, though, I think a little bit of research, or maybe even a trip to the library, might tell you who's been using them and for how long. I struggled a little bit about deciding whether or not to do a video about these caves. I worry someone may get hurt getting in here. There's the various hazards that I've mentioned, but I also worry that people might not be respectful of this place, and that it may lead to it being closed off and made inaccessible. But the reason why I started making videos in the first place is that I feel that every place has a story, and that those stories should be told. And in doing that, we bring the world closer to ourselves and create relationship with our surroundings. So, having said all that, I decided to go ahead and tell the story of these caves. There are more to discover, but I've been intentionally obtuse about showing where they are, how to get there, and even having pictures of everything that's there to be discovered. So I think for those things, I leave it to those of you who decide they want to go see these things for themselves. A little bit of exploration, and you'll be able to find lots of stuff to check out.